Hello to a new Desy tutorial. This time um, is a focus on a very general startup of the program. As you could see, I have downloaded from the website an empty Desy. We have no information in chart of accounts, currency, name, totals, everything is empty, so we do not have information. So is how to start to use a Desy. The first step is to go in info and to enter here a couple of at least two codes to manage our accountability. I say two because we always have some cost and some financial accounts like cash and bank. So this is the typical minimal structure of chart of account. So from here, I just click on new and I enter my uh, cost to allocate all the cost account and call it funds, for example, or financial account fund um, for all the financial accounts. As you could see, I enter here is blinking. So it means that it's waiting for another code. So in this case, you see, I can't move in another section. I have two options, or to delete my last entry, or for example, I enter income because I may manage some income account. So to confirm, I just click on OK. So there is no more blinking here. And then I can easily move to other section. So of course, so the mistake is to click new every time. The system is waiting for you to enter a new code, so does not allow you to move in other sections like what I've done now. So in this case, just delete this table created, and then so we keep these three different account types: cost, fund, and income. Next step is to go to the chart of account and enter here the structure of our accounts. We have two options, so we can then enter them manually using the button new and entering information in here, or we can import this information from an Excel file using these two buttons. The first thing is just to enter one code. So for example, I just click on here, I enter, we have to enter a code of the account we want to use. So I'm just and here a description of the code. As you could see, there are star here, so those are three mandatory information that for each account we have to use. So in this case, I need to enter what kind of account I've entered here. So I can't complete the operation until I do not select. In this case, is a cost account because it's let's say here instead of description, let's say salary project manager, something like this. So this is, as you could see, I've entered my first account in the Desy. Is a cost account. This is the code and the description. So if I have to enter another account, it's just to click on new. I type here the following code, and it would be salary, in this case administrator. And here automatically the system keeps track of the last account type entered. So going ahead, I enter all the information related to my project. One more thing, of course, I can add in here, for example, the budget for the specific project. So for each account, I'm recalling here the salary administrator, let's say other 4,000. So very general information. What else? The other option, as I said, is to use the Excel. So I can enter all the list of accounts in an Excel file and import this list in the Desy. So this is much quicker. And I do recommend to do this operation at the very beginning of the project, when you did not start yet to use the registration in prima nota. After that time, so if the project is in use, I do not recommend to use the import export, because you may destroy your accountability. So it's a very dangerous operation. So it's recommendable to do it is at the beginning. After, maybe you can ask me some help if you really have to do this import export. So how to do it? First of all, you have to use the file produced by the Desy. So to get the Excel file to be used in the importation, you have to at least enter one line of account. So in this case, I have to put 2, and then you click on this button, export. What happens is that automatically Desy export you the structure of an Excel file to be used for importation. As you could see, these are the information needed. The progetto stands for account type, the budget line, description, and the budget. This is the heading that we will see later on. So what happens is that in this section, I need to enter here the full list of information to be imported. I do have here an example. So for example, I open up this file with a budget. So what happened here, I have a full list of is a budget approved of 800,000 euro, already with some code given and description and the amount in here. So what I may do is just to, for example, select, I just select this first section in here. I just copy, for example, and then I put this code in here, and the same thing would be for the description. I have description in French and in English. In this case, I will do everything in English. So I paste here my description, and of course, since I am a very lazy person, I will copy and paste also the budget euro amount. In this case, I paste the value because there were formulas inside of the budget. So I got here the full list of accounts, descriptions, and budget. All those are costs, so it's just for me, it's enough just to copy the cost in here, and that's it. The file is almost ready. I need to maybe to clean it up, because we see here there are some empty cells, empty rows, like here and here. So I may ask them just to order by budget line. Just ask the system to get rid of those empty cells, something like this. So the empty cells are here. We just don't want to cost. So, and then I save it. So what I've done, I work on this file, I save it, I close the file, then I go back in my Desy, and then I click on this button, import from Excel. Of course, there is an alert saying that you're about to import some records in it, and yes, we want to go ahead. So if I click yes, here it is. I did import the list of records that we have seen in the Excel file. As you could see, there are 2 empty lines at the very top of it. Why? If you remember, in the Excel file, there were some empty rows. So those are empty for our eyes, but are not empty for Excel. So so it means that Desy has imported also the rows used in that specific file. How I can fix this one easily? I just can export again, and I can delete the first two rows from here. I save it, and then I import again, so he will overwrite the same record here. So this is cleaned up. Of course, to avoid this problem is enough, instead of putting the Excel file in order per budget line, was enough to delete the empty rows that I found in my file that I was using. So what I've done, if I can move in budget, for example, I can move now in the cost, and I do see that I have imported 340,000 euro of budget. So this is the first section related to my project. What else? Beside cost accounts, of course, in case, just to give you an example, in case we do manage some income accounts, I can specify this code. We can, let's say, we change it and we say that this is an income account. So on this, we use this code to record income for, let's say, for a specific reason. What is the effect of this operation is when I go in total, balance total, I can be focused on all the accounts related cost accounts, or for example on the income account. So this panel, I can easily move across the group of accounts that we want to see. So funds, I will now enter the kind of cash or bank accounts, cost accounts with the budget, and the income account. So this is help me to give an analytical view of my accountability. Just to complete this section, the last thing I want to do is to enter a cash account. So I just click on new, then I enter a code just to identify my cash account, and I enter cash, let's say cash euro. This is a fund, so it's a fund, and we do not have budget for cash and bank accounts anyway. So financial accounts, we do not have budget, and we want to say that we, this is I talk about name and project in another tutorial, but for all the funds accounts is you have to click skip name. So we do not have to give specification of name. Name is stands for supplier, for example, name of the supplier for the cash account. So if I go again in total, I do see that now if I'm focused on the fund, I do have the list of, in this case is only one, of my liquidity, in this case cash account in euro. That's it. I mean, I'm now ready to enter some registration. If I go in prima nota, I enter my, let's enter the specific registration. Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot. I did not put any currency. So the third step is to enter some currency. In here, I do not have any currency in my system. So I delete this registration. I go in currency. I go in the currency section first, and then I enter. We want to manage euro. We want to manage US dollar and ATD, for example. Enter. So what I've done, and is also from this section here, we enter the currency we want to manage, and in this section I can enter the exchange rate for the conversion in the main currency, in this case euro. So I need to enter new. I want to enter a specific period like the 1st January until the end of January. And we need to specify in here what currency we want to use. So I have to repeat again, the currency put in this section needs to be entered also in the exchange rate section. So I said USD and ATP. And this is free. I still do not know. I mean, maybe later on we will decide for the fourth currency to be used. And here below I can put dollar, for example. Now it's a bit higher. And ATB, to be honest, I do not remember. Let's put 89. I can, this is free, so I can invert this one. So I can put dollar here and ATB here. So nothing happen if I decide to change and to put ATB first and USD later. Of course, I need to be consistent with the exchange rate. So this is free. It's up to you how you prefer to manage this information. So I give also to the system the structure of currency and list and exchange rate. Now I'm ready to complete my first registration. My first registration would be to give, let's say, an advance to the project manager in cash. So I click on new, I enter the date of, let's say, today. I select the currency, we say that we pay in euro, and this is an advance to PM. I select the budget line. I do not know. Let's say that the PM is the sanitary coordinator, for example, and I select my counterpart. So it has been paid with the euro. It is 50. Let's say we give a very little advance. So I've done my first registration with selecting the account, the counterpart, amount, and my description. Advice. It's very weird description. And consequently, what happened that if I go in total, I have my first picture of my budget and the list of my cost. So this is just let's say a quick introduction to how to start up the program.